Så har David og jeg købt os hver en rundvisningsbillet. Vi er nemlig blevet rekommanderet at se på Lakrids her i lokalområdet. Skulle det her være, ja, det skulle faktisk være Syditaliens fineste lakridser. Så vi tænker på farmand Allan og alle de andre, der elsker lakridser. Det er jo lige før, vi igen skal have hvidvinkel på. Og det her, Lakrids. Ja, der er altså mange, der er i mine tanker nu. Okay, vi er blevet hentet. Jeg havde elsket det. Vi må ind ad døren. Og vi tager den igen på hvidvinkel. Og vi har fået lov at filme. Og her har du en del. Så det er sådan set lige her, vores motorcykel, det står. Det ved jeg ikke, du kan se. Nå, ja. Sorry.
Okay, so we are inside the only museum of licorice in the world. Giorgio Amarelli Museum. It was created in 2001 and it's right here. This is the family, the Amarelli family's old house. It was a fortress built in 1400. They still live upstairs, some members of the family. They also have a small church. It was built in 1800 at the very beginning, and it's on this side right here. Here we have some plaques from association that Amarelli is part of. This one, the historical dwelling from Italy, from the building that I just showed you. This one instead is a French association. It's very peculiar. It's called Les Enochiennes. It has about 70 members. They're all family businesses, and they have to be at least 200 years old.
Okay.
Just like Amarelli. Amarelli was created in 1731 by the Amarelli family. And they still own it today.
Okay.
This way. So here we have a little bit of the history of the family. This is a very old family. The first members that we know, Alessandro Amarelli, he was a crusader. He died in 1103 in Palestine, right after a battle. A family of barons, landowner. The land that they used to own was the Contrada Amarelli, which is where we are right now. And here, before they would start to produce licorice, they used to produce olive oil and wine. That's why we have so many tools right above our heads.
Okay.
For agriculture, but also for the animals, like the horses' strings, the bells for the cows. And here we also have a press for the olives.
Yes. Oh, yeah. What time of the year do they make the olives?
The olives,
Oil.
They take it from the plant.
Yes. At what time of the year?
October, November.
October, November, yes. They're very green now and bitter.
Yes, now they're very green, yeah. This one instead is the plant of licorice.
This is the plant of the licorice?
Yes.
Excellent.
1500.
1500 they started the production?
And then they start the company in 1731.
Okay. What she's just telling here is that licorice... Nej, hun fortæller lige, at lakrids var faktisk brugt til at hjælpe maven and heal the lungs.
Lungs, yes.
Yes.
And the stomach.
And
it's also a very good anti-inflammatory.
Anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Nej, det skal vi altså huske. Jeg skal til at spise lakridser.
The only thing in Denmark you hear about licorice is that it higher your level of blood pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Fun.
Obviously, if it's a healthy person, you have to eat at least 100 grams of licorice, of pure licorice, so the hard licorice. If you have some problems, then you get lower. Okay.
Is
way
this
lower.
called pure licorice, or is it when it's
This is the root.
extracted? Yeah.
So the pure licorice is the juice that comes out from the root, and I will show you later. And it's pure because there's no other ingredients added, no sugar, no nothing. What you can find is pure licorice flavored, so they add a juice like anise juice, mint juice, so it's a little bit flavored, but the only ingredient is licorice otherwise. So the plant is about 60 to 80 centimeters. The root can reach a depth of 2 meters in the soil. The root,
So 2 meters?
yes. The root is the only part of the plant that we use to make licorice. Yes. You can find it here, you can also find in Sicily, Basilicata, Puglia.
Can you point out where you can find licorice?
Okay, in Sicily,
Yeah.
Basilicata, which is right above Calabria, Puglia, right here, also in Abruzzo, but you can also find it in China, Afghanistan, Iraq, in Greece, and in Mongolia, right here.
Alright.
But depending on the specific chemistry of the soil and the weather,
Yes.
that changes the taste that
Okay.
comes out. This one, which is the one that grows here, has a very high percentage of a substance that is called glycyrrhizina, which is a sugary substance that makes our plant one of the sweetest in the world. That's why we only use the one that grows here in Calabria, between Sibari and Crotone, on the coast, so next to the sea. It's very easy to find because it's a spontaneous plant. We don't plant it because it doesn't grow. The only thing that we can do is to leave some pieces of root in the soil every time that we harvest it, so that the plant grows back. But it takes between 7 to 9 years so that we can go back in and gather it again.
And it doesn't have to have a
No,
top.
we don't use
It's
this
only
one.
the roots,
Yes.
and then it can survive.
Yeah, just small pieces and then it grows back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why the plant doesn't really make a smell.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to recognize because, first of all, it looks like a bush.
Yeah.
And because the juice is inside the roots, unless the roots are exposed, you can really smell it.
Hun fortæller, at man kan, hvis jeg forstod det rigtigt, den var 60-80 cm høj, og det er kun rødderne. It's only the roots you use. Det er kun rødderne, man bruger, og det er kun for det her helt specielle lokale område, at det er så sød en lakrids. Og hvis man bare lader lidt af rødderne blive, så kan man, så vil de gro igen, men det tager, var det 8 år, David, til at komme tilbage?
Giorgio Amarelli. One of these, yes. This is the crusader. This one was a saint that was part of the family, Giorgio Amarelli.
And who's is the man or woman who
Se,
started
det er det oprindelige
Okay, so
lakridshus.
no.
Det er meget sjovt.
It was the father of those two, Francesco and Alessandro.
Og her
They said that
fortæller
he
de,
was
hvordan
a Northman who came to Italy.
de
And
brugte
then
køer
in Naples, he got married,
og
had 2 sons.
heste,
This
og
one
det er
was
alt det der,
sent
du så deroppe
church.
i loftet.
So he became a crusader. This one instead came here and just created the family and the land and all that.
Måske det er lidt opskrifter, hvis du har interesse. Wow. Yes.
What you see here in Italian is called neviera, from the word neve, snow. So it's pretty much a fridge. 1400, 1500. They used to put snow or ice, then straw and the food that they needed.
Nu fortæller hun, at det her det er en italiensk sådan et nedkølingsrum. Og så can you repeat what did you put in it to keep it cold?
Snow or ice,
Yes.
then straw
And straw.
and the food.
Okay.
So it's a
So how
fridge.
did you get ice in this weather?
If you go on the old part of town,
Yes.
it's called Rossano Sopra. It used to snow, now less because the sea is coming closer and
Yes.
closer.
Okay.
But yeah,
Så i gamle dage havde man faktisk sne sådan højt op in the mountains, way up there, and they put snow in it and straw.
no summer.
No, in the winter time. So, okay. Så det var en hjemmelavet fryser i en italiensk hjemmelavet fryser. Lidt is i bunden, lidt strå, og så maden.
For a long time.
A long time. Months?
Probably, yes. So here we have some clothes. They belong to the family between 1700 and 1800. You can also find some toys, some accessories, like there's a hat, some shoes. This is a rocking goat.
Yes.
It doesn't look too good, but it's...
It looks a little more
It's
like
creepy, yes. It was a real goat,
yes.
except for the eyes and the face. The face is made of wood, the eyes are made of glass.
Så det hun fortæller, det er faktisk en rigtig ged, der er her, som har så fået glasøjne og lidt træ ting. Det er tøj helt tilbage fra det oprindelige. Okay.
So here we can see how we used to make licorice
Yes.
from 1500 on. This is the root.
Yeah.
So they would cut it into small pieces
De skal det små stykker.
and then put in these big pots with just water. So we would obtain the juice just like when you make tea.
Just
pretty much.
water?
Just water and
Okay.
infuse. Yes.
Cold or boiled water?
Cold, then they would boil it until it was like pretty much
Så
brown.
ned i stykker, koge, koldt vand
And
og
it
koge
would
det.
look like this in the end?
No. This is the product that we obtain once we cook the juice for many hours. So the water evaporates, we
Yes.
obtain this paste, a pure paste. The paste is very sticky, and the most important thing is that we can only shape it when it's warm, because at that point it's soft, so you can work it. Once it becomes cold, it gets hard, just like this one.
Okay.
Once it becomes cold and hard, we don't work it anymore. We can heat it, melt it, no, because it changes the taste.
Okay, so what you tell me, I'll just say it in Danish. De lægger det i vand, de koger det, og så koger de det i mange, mange, mange timer. Og når det så ligesom størkner, så kan man ikke rigtig gøre mere. Man kan ikke tage det, koge det igen, fordi så skifter det smagen. So you just can cook it once, and when it gets
hard,
it is finished. How do you know? Probably that is a secret of the recipe. How do you know when it's done?
We have a mastro liquiriziaio. He knows when the paste is good.
Yes.
Yes, so it's a generation work.
Wow.
It's
Yes.
father and son.
Yes.
And is it like when you make alcohol that if you make it, cook it or let it rest for a long time, it will get stronger, or is it?
You just have to make it dense. It pretty much becomes like a dough to make pizza, to make pasta. So once we have that consistency that we can work
Yes.
by hand, for example, once the paste was cooked, they could make, just like when you make pasta, for example.
Det er ligesom når man
it's
laver
thick.
bolcher. Yes.
They used to make it in
And this
different
is-
shapes.
Det her det er de forskellige størrelser af lakridsruller, man laver. Yes.
And then to
You
leave
cut
it
it?
to dry, they would leave it here so that it could keep the shape. But before leaving it to dry, they had to print the name Amarelli here with this.
Yeah.
Prøv at se. Mens det endnu var varmt og muligt at forme det, så viser man, indprinter man navnet. How do you say your name again?
Amarelli.
Amarelli. Og det er det, du har det der. Det er sådan det navnet her. Yes?
Yes. You can also find it, especially in pharmacies, in bricks.
And say it again?
In bricks, especially in pharmacies,
Yes?
you can find the brick.
Yes?
Then the pharmacist would break it with a hammer into small pieces.
Yes.
And they would sell by weight.
Okay.
And this was cheaper, less expensive than the steel.
Yes, of course.
So, we're talking about pure licorice. When it's hard, it's pure.
Yes?
The substance that you see here, this comes from the acacia tree from Sudan.
Acacia
It's
tree.
a raisin. Yes. So we use it by melting it into the paste, and we use it to change the consistency of the paste. With this, we make soft licorice, the gummy licorice.
Yes?
But
De bruger det, og så laver de til gummilakrids. Yes? Og hun fortalte lige, at det der. Nogle gange så solgte man det bare sådan der i sådan nogle store klumper, og så hamrede man det i små bitte stykker, så man kunne bruge, og det ville være billigere. Og det var farmaceuterne. Ja. Sure, thank you.
So, once we add this ingredient, when the paste is warm, it becomes very liquid. So it doesn't look like the pizza dough. So we have to use another method to give it a shape. Here we have a tray with just like flour.
Yeah.
And to make these shapes, we used the molds that you see here. They're made in ceramic and they have different shapes, like the fish, which is a Amarelli big classic fish. We also have the mulberry that we still produce today, orange flavored and lemon flavored, and this one that we don't use anymore for obvious reason is a baby with his arms crossed on his chest.
Okay. So this is how you form the shape of the
We would
licorice.
press
Yes.
this one in here,
Ja.
leaving the shape.
Yes.
And then we would fill the shapes with the hot base.
Så fylder de det med lakridserne. Okay. Nej, plader. Så fylder de lakrids ned i de forskellige forme. Yes. På
Then
den
we
der.
would leave it to dry for a couple of days.
Yes.
And once they were ready, we would take them out and brush them
Yes.
to clean them from their white substance.
Et par dage, der står de og tørrer, og så tager de dem ud og brusher dem. Altså sådan.
Is it
Fingør dem.
flour you use?
It's actually cornstarch, not flour. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. But yes, we reuse it. If it's not dirty, we take off the dirty part and then we reuse it.
Her har du altså også lige lakridser.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yes. Wow.
All the products were sold in shops like this one. This
Yes.
is the Ricky shop.
Og sådan her så butikkerne ud in the good old days. Nu skal jeg lige hen over en brønd, men jeg kan jo være glad for, at der er noget, jeg kan træde på.
So you can find a lot of licorice and the tins, the famous Amarelli tins here, but also here.
Så.
They're all vintage. You can't find those in the shops anymore. This one, it's called Barone Amarelli, Baron's Amarelli.
Yes.
And it's the first one from 1919.
Whoa.
You know my dad that just passed away a year ago.
Okay.
The very best thing you could give him was a little box in metal with this licorice in.
Yes.
So he loved this.
No.
This was the very best for him.
Okay.
What
So
was this again? It was from
This
a
is
tree?
yes, it's from the acacia tree from Sudan.
Are det harpiks?
no.
No.
What did you say? It was
It's as you can call it sap or raisin. If you have a translation, okay.
Yeah.
Det er lige ved at finde ud af, hvad det er. Det du spørger om det er harpiks.
It's
Is
Arabic
it from
gum.
the tree?
Yes,
But-
it comes from a tree.
In italiano or English?
Uguale.
We'll find out. Det er altså sådan her, vi finder ud af det.
It is harpiks.
Det er harpiks. Okay.
Alright, yeah.
So that you use to make the
The gummy licorice.
the gummy
soft
licorice, yes.
Yes.
Does this add any flavor
No.
to? No.
It's flavorless. It's smellless. We only use it to change the consistency of the paste.
and you do that still today?
Yes.
Yes.
We still use this.
Wow.
So it's not like syrup at all.
It can come in syrup. It can come in this, but the most important is that.
Min dejlige søster, hun vil da også
Obviously,
elske de her
when we
lakridser.
talk about soft licorice, there's obviously some added ingredients like sugar and always a flavor. Mint, anise, orange, lemon. So here we find some documents about transportation. Our licorice was we used to travel around Italy mostly by boat in
Yes.
the bricks that I showed you. So we would go from Corigliano, which is nearby us, then all around Sicily, going to Naples. And then from Naples, we would travel up north. Here, there is a document, there is a transportation document, and I don't know if you understand some Italian, it's a 1700 document, but what you can see is that the last word is Amen.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually a prayer, so that the licorice could arrive safe because of the sea, but also because of pirates. They used to steal our licorice.
Så hvis man bad den der bøn, så kunne det komme trygt rundt i verden, og man kunne håbe at undgå piraterne, som jo ellers ville forsøge at tage tingene. Som både kom, kan jeg se lidt med tog, men jeg ved ikke, så synes jeg også, de har vist noget med en flyvemaskine, men hun fortalte nu altså, at det var med både, at de transporterede det rundt i verden.
Everything.
The brown, the yellow.
Yeah.
Vi snakker lige om alkohol.
With a famous company in Italy that's called Strega.
Yes.
And we also make beer. Light beer and dark beer.
Wow. With alcohol?
Yeah.
No, with the licorice.
We do sell a little bit of liquor.
Yes. Excellent. That is nice.
In the second showcase, we can find some documents about the selling of licorice. With Italian company like Venchi, they also make candies. Leone, they make chocolates. And European companies, we can find some documents in different languages. And this book right here, that is about weights, measures, and English money from 1880. And the saddles that we see here, they're from the end of 1700. They also come from England.
De kommer fra England.
When the English bought our roots, not to make licorice, but to flavor the tobacco. So they used to cut in small pieces and mix it up with the tobacco for smoke.
Englænderne købte det ikke til at spise som lakrids, men til at lave lakrids smag i cigaretterne.
Fountain for the museum.
And this, you said this was an English one?
Yes, so we send them the roots.
Yes.
As a payment, they send us the saddles.
Oh, so you got the saddle for the licorice.
Yes.
The English people that used it for the cigarettes.
For the smoking.
Yes.
So for men, for children,
Så fik de her som betaling.
and for women on the other side.
Og det her, det var til børn, det var til mændene, og det her var sadlerne til damerne.
They are side saddles.
They're side saddles. All right, so they can sit with the
2 legs on
the
one
dress.
side.
Yes. The skirt. Og det var til herrerne. Det var med benene på hver sin side. Gadagum, gadagum, gadagum. Du kan lige forestille dig, hvordan man sætter sig op på en hesteryg her. Og hvis man er en lille mus, så er det der. Ja. Yes. Thank you.
And then here we have the picture of the green plants. So this is exactly how you find it. Especially on the 106, which is the route for you to come here. You can also find it on the beach, on the sand, in the sand. And then here you see how we harvest these roots between October and May.
Mellem oktober og maj. Is it between October and May you make it? You
Only
take it up?
between October and May. We stop during summertime, just like we stop with the production, because licorice, we have to make it at very high temperatures. So
Okay,
it
fordi
becomes
det
very
skal-
hard for workers. And
Så det de siger, det er, at fra oktober til maj laver man det, men hen over sommeren stopper man, fordi det er simpelthen det er for hårdt, det er for varmt at arbejde, og det kræver så høj en temperatur. Jamen dog, se nu her, og hvad hedder det, museum fortsætter.
yeah, it's just a bush.
Og her har vi, ser hun,
The room of modernity. We see how the process changes after the introduction of electricity. We find some pylons here. They used to take electricity here.
og det er ligesom senere. Yes?
And we also find some machines. Obviously, because there's not that many still today licorice producers, especially when we talk about pure licorice.
No.
Machines, they didn't exist.
No.
So they had to make them for us. This is the drawing of a juice mixer that it was specifically made for the company of the Barons Amarelli from Rossano.
And what kind of, when are we now?
Like
Yeah,
this one is from the 30s, 1930s.
Okay, 90. Okay,
This one was a newspaper printer.
newspaper printer, yes.
Yes, it was
Used to be,
modified.
det var en oprindelig sådan en avis.
Was
printer.
modified to give
Så
the
det-
soft candies a shape. So we see once again the tray with the cornstarch, the mold with the different shapes.
Ja.
So we would press the mold into the cornstarch, and then instead of filling it by hand, just like I showed you, it was filled with this, with the hot paste.
Så her der puttede man lakridsen op i her, i stedet for den der, hvor man gjorde det med hånden, og så kom det ned.
And
Og
that's
så-
a picture of the final result.
Yes. Og så fik man pludselig skabt lakridser lidt mere industrialiseret.
You would brush
Så
them faster.
i stedet for, at, som hun siger, at brush them, som de gjorde i gamle dage, så fik de en maskine til at pudse det.
This in the factory, there's
Så i stedet for at stå og koge det i et stort kar, så bruger man faktisk, det her det er sådan en prototype på at vise, hvordan man koger det ind, saften.
Man laver espresso.
Ja, og det fungerer ligesom espresso. Og så er det dampen, der får det op, ligesom en espresso-maskine. Thank you! Yes? Vi,
here we can find another machine.
det er en anden maskine.
This shows us the process that we use today to give the candy a shape. As you can see, we have a layer just like lasagna. But instead of cutting the paste, because as I said, the paste is very sticky when it's warm. So if we cut it when it's warm, then the candies would stick together and lose the shape.
Yes.
What we do is print
Yes.
the shapes without cutting it.
Yes.
Once it's dry, we break it.
Ja.
Yes.
Chocolate.
Today, instead of making the layer, we just simply make a little snake
Yes.
of licorice. We print the design, we leave it to dry, we shake it, they break. And then the last thing that we have to do, as you can see, the paste, it's not shiny, just like the candies that you can find in the shops. The shining parts, we do it once again, just like through steam. So we use the interaction between the steam, the heat from the steam, and the sugary substance that I told you about, the glicerizzina. So the sugar melts, and then it becomes shiny, just like caramel.
Right.
So we make them shiny, we leave it to dry once again, and then we get to the boxes and the tins.
Nice.
Then here we can find the statue of Miss Pina Amarelli. She represented Calabria at Expo Milano 2015 into the Italian pavilion. And then underneath, the Guggenheim Prize from the Venice Guggenheim Museum.
And what's the price for?
When the museum was created, they awarded us this prize because it's a museum that tells a new history, a story that was never told. As I said, it's the only museum of licorice in the world.
Så har de så startet det her museum. Jeg elsker folk, der får gode idéer, der kan hjælpe andre mennesker.
There's a stick here because they use some oils, they use something that now they make it into the practice part. The phone and computers, we also have a motorbike.
Yes.
This is a C, it's called C by Piaggio, which is an Italian company. It belongs to a member of the family. And they were all used in our offices, obviously. There's also very beautiful.
Så det her, det var altså alt sammen noget, som er blevet brugt, i deres forretning. Alle computerne her, som du kan se.
We also have the secretary corner right here, the diaper, and the recorder.
Thank you.
Is this some kind of GPS or map or what?
Yes, a calculator.
It's a
Calculator.
So this is the stamp that the National Post Office Service from Italy dedicated to the drawing of the building we're in.
So you have your own stamp?
Yes, but it was made in 2004, so you can't really find it anymore. We have some, but it's just for the museum.
Yes. Okay.
And then on the other side, you can see this is an art piece. It was made by this Italian artist, Marco Lodola. He created pretty much a big, bright, colorful tin.
Yes.
Just like the ones that we have. And now there's also a tin that exists.
Is that the new logo? Or?
Yeah, this was made by him,
Yes.
so he did whatever he wanted. But now we also have a tin that resembles this one.
Great.
And what is Rossano?
This is a place here.
Rossano is our town.
Det her.
It's a town.
Yeah.
Rossano, yes. Here we have some more licorice. Those are tires. They're made of licorice in collaboration with Pirelli, which is an Italian tire company. This one is about 40 kilos, but it's only covered in licorice because there is a support inside. This one instead is about 70 kilos of pure licorice.
Right.
It's way more detailed than the first one because the Pirelli, they sent us the mold that they used to make their own tires. So we filled it with licorice and then we sent it to Shanghai for the expo in 2010.
Wow.
So this is real liquid.
Yes, you can smell it something a little bit.
Yeah.
Artistic tins.
Og her har de sådan en udstilling af lidt sjovere ting.
They're made from Massimo Cirelli. You make different types, like this one with the Callipo tuna, which is also a company from Calabria. And then these ones, they're made by Gianluca Spinella. They all have a drawing, like this one is a hopper.
Inside.
They have the small character and the magnet on the back.
Doesn't it get bad?
No, licorice doesn't expire